Now, the process of buying a home in Ireland leads to overbidding and creates delays after sales are agreed, causing stress for purchasers. This is according to new research from the ESRI. Simon Barry is Director of Advocacy at the CCPC and joined Anton on Newstalk Breakfast this morning. And Simon explained some of what buyers are facing.
It's so important for people like your listeners who may be buying a home because it's going to be the largest financial decision that any of us likely make in our lives. And that's what our research has told us in the past, is that people find this market complex and difficult to navigate. The level of transparency in the way the market operates is not good. And people, as Deirdre was just mentioning there, tend to experience a number of different stressful hurdles or things that go along the way, including delays, which was one of the main kind of themes to come from this research.
That is Simon Barry from the CCPC speaking earlier. Carol Tallon is with me, CEO of Property District. Good morning to you, Carol.
Good morning, Claire.
There's a lot of emotion around buying a property, isn't there? And I would imagine that that's where a lot of this stems from. You know, if you're ready to go, you want to get the deal done as quickly as possible, and that leads to all sorts of problems.
Yeah, and you know, it has always been so, but we probably would have assumed in an era of more data and digital tools that we were leading towards more transparency. And by the way, that is true. But what's really interesting here is this particular report isn't on the data. It's not on how much buyers are paying. It's actually investigating how the Irish housing transaction system is influencing buyer and seller behaviour. And that's really bad. So actually for me, as a PropTech and online bidding advocate, I would say it's a bad day for PropTech and for online bidding systems. It's actually a very good day for buyers' agents. So kind of the independent professionals who would work maybe opposite to estate agents while the estate agents are representing the seller. I think if anything, it really points to a need for buyers to be represented in the transaction.
Okay, so tell me why you see that need in this report today.
Oh, so many things. So first of all, now, you know, this is showing very clearly that our housing system, not just the marketplace, like not just the market and market dynamics and supply, which is causing huge pressure, but actually the system is amplifying this stress and it's pushing people into decisions that they didn't plan to make. So our open bidding systems are actually pushing people up. And it's so surprising to me that the sealed bids, which buyers detest, they are actually turning out to be kind of the most fair for buyers. But I think what shocked me is that in this era of so much information, there was a surprisingly low level of understanding about the rights and responsibilities. But for me, the most concerning aspect is that there's a clear mismatch between, say, the beliefs of buyers and then how they act on those. So, for example, 56% of the participants actually said they prefer online bidding systems. They see them as fairer and more transparent. Now, they are more transparent, that's for sure. But what was interesting is that 32% of them believe that online platforms would help slow price inflation. And actually, this experiment, this research shows that it's actually the very opposite.
Right. So if you see in your online bidding process that someone has bid more than you, you're straight in to try and beat them.
Yeah, and you know, this is where the psychology comes in, and we don't have enough. You know, we rely on some UK, but mainly US data about this, and the US property market is very different to Ireland. Ask anybody who's watching, you know, Selling Sunset or any of those programs. But I think what's really interesting is that, you know, PropTech and technology in general was meant to enhance trust. But actually what we're seeing is that it's driving the same undesirable consumer behaviours that we see in social media use. So, for example, when would-be bidders see multiple bids and an active bidding history, it actually signals to them desirability and scarcity. And so that's encouraging bidders to follow the crowd and escalate their own bids beyond what they can afford and what they've already set as their ideal bid.
Like, do you think as well that, you know, we need to know more about the rules or be better versed in the rules? For example, knowing that sale agreed means that the estate agent can still continue to market that property even if you as a buyer have agreed to purchase it.
Now, actually, this is highlighting to me that I exist in a little bit of a bubble, because actually I started writing the Irish Property Buyers Annuals back in 2011 when we didn't have data. And I can remember when we welcomed the Property Price Register, and that was seen to be transformative because for the first time ever, we had property data. So I'm actually really shocked to know that fewer than half of buyers knew that they could withdraw without a penalty before contracts were signed. But it is shocking to me that 80% of people didn't know that a property can be legally marketed after going sale agreed. And what's really worrying to me is not only that people don't know this, but they don't even understand the impact of it. So, for example, there was one question in there and it showed that 71% of would-be buyers and sellers prefer sales to become legally binding only at contract signing and not at offer acceptance. Now, actually, that means that they're agreeing to this system where we have a dual deposit, a booking deposit that actually means nothing on either side. So there's no protection. And, you know, one of the biggest challenges here is the impact of delay in all of this. So if all of this happened in a 2-week window or a 6-week window, the impacts wouldn't be so severe. But because of the really extreme delays on our conveyancing side, it means that actually you're not talking about 2 weeks or even 6 weeks. You could be talking about 4 months, or if there's a probate involved, it could be 9 months or 12 months. And I've seen it take longer. So actually the delays are amplifying the impacts of our system.
So do we need an overhaul of how we buy and sell houses here?
Some of that has already started. And to be fair, IPAV, so that's the Institute of Professional Auctioneers and Valuers, they actually championed this thing called a seller's legal pack in the Property Buyers Bill. And they did that following data from their survey back in 2020. So actually a bill was put together in 2021. And actually, would you believe, only last week, Senator Aubrey McCarthy actually called on government to actually bring forward and will update and bring forward that bill so that actually the benefits could be made available to buyers within the lifetime of this government. It's inexcusable that that hasn't happened.
Well, Carol, David's been in touch with us. He's listening and he says that this is nonsense. The system isn't driving up bids. The fact that people know they may never get another chance is increasing desperation. Fix supply and people will be more likely to stay within their limits.
Oh, well, I can't argue with that. Supply is absolutely driving it. So you can see there's a psychology around scarcity, and that is a known psychology around scarcity. So that's why actually, even when there is supply, and you know, I've been in this industry for 30 years, so there are times when there's a lot more supply. So actually, sellers have to artificially create scarcity. So scarcity does drive impulsive decisions. And what's really interesting is when we know that data shows us from a psychology point of view, when people are unclear, when there's ambiguity and they don't know their rights, they either stop or rush a decision. It doesn't make them take longer to investigate it, which is really interesting psychology.